Hello everyone, in this is actually a video for those who are listening. This is a new episode of my podcast, English and Canada, and this is me, Anastasia Stoyanova. And if you are watching a video version of this podcast, by the way, which I think you should do, it's available on my YouTube channel, English and Canada. Go check it out. And because I'll be showing you the slides, it's a very unusual episode because I want to talk to you about something very interesting, as always. But this time it's very special because I'll be talking about my 5 weeks in Quebec City. And I know that a lot of English speakers would say Quebec. But for me now, it's so unusual because all the francophones, so French speakers, say Quebec. So to me, it's a bit weird if I hear Quebec, though it's the correct pronunciation among the Anglophones, those who speak English. But anyway, so for me, it's Quebec, and I was studying there at university. It was the course of advanced French. Just because, I've been learning French for almost 4 years now, and this was a great opportunity, and I want to talk about it, and I want to show you some pictures for those who are going to be watching the video version. But for those who are just listening, that's fine as well. I hope you'll enjoy and just kind of my verbal explanations. So first of all, I want to say that, and I'll show you a couple of pictures here, that Quebec City is famous for its history, its architecture. Chateau Frontenac. It's a castle, and it's actually a hotel. Yeah, it's a very big hotel. It's one of the most popular in old city, in the old Quebec. And it's very, very beautiful. But actually, my goal was not tourism, and my goal was education. And I was studying there at at Laval University, or what they call Université Laval. So Laval University. That's one of the oldest, I think the oldest one in North America. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's as far as I remember, the way that they were presenting. And I was living, studying, speaking French full time. I've been passionate about the French language just because it's all connected to Canadian immigration. And when I was learning French from scratch, when I just started, I was learning it for my immigration process. So, but this time it's for my future, for my career, as my personal interest, also in the future. And I will tell you what I'll do with this language regarding my career. So stay tuned. So first of all, why I wanted to go and where I went, what kind of program is that? This program is the program that's paid by the Canadian government, but if you're eligible to meet the criteria. So it's for Canadian citizens and permanent residents who meet certain criteria. And the program is called Explore, and you can pick a place and by the way, the program Explore is just only one program among the other ones that are available. You could check it out, englishfrench.ca. It's not a promotion, it's just my recommendation if you are interested and if you meet the criteria. So why do they do that? They want to promote French language learning among the people who speak English, and vice versa. Among the people who speak English, among the people who speak French, they promote English, right? So in that way, Canadian citizens and permanent residents benefit greatly if they meet the criteria and if they choose to go because, for example, the flight or the train, you gotta pay for that and some other expenses as well. So not everything is covered. And my candidacy was selected, so I was among the lucky ones who got to be chosen to go. And you know that in the past, I've had experience of studying in the U.S. when I was a teenager, when I was 16. Well, this time I'm a lot older, but I said to myself, why not? I'm still young. I am older, but I'm not old, right? I can still explore, I can learn, and then I can benefit from this, and I can bring this language experience into my classroom as well, into my courses. So why not? And for me, the 5 weeks, though I did stay a bit longer, I stayed for 7 weeks because then my husband came to visit, and I'll show you some pictures. But 5 weeks, it was very, very intensive session, and I was living on campus. I was living in the residence at university. By the way, very good residence, very clean. And again, it's not a paid promotion or anything. It's just me wanting to share my experience, how it was, yeah? So naked truth, so to speak. And the best thing is that your brain adapts because you study French, you study every day. It's a full-time thing. You go in the morning, you come later in the afternoon, and then you have some activities. So lots of things. And in my case, I was in the building that was called Pavilion Charles de Conan, or like in French, Charles de Conan, Pavillon, c'est comme ça, this is like that. So lots of great pictures for the ones who are watching the video version, but basically what I'm showing right now, as you could see, I'll just say that there's some pictures of me holding like a university cup or mug that I purchased. And what else? Just me in the classroom. It was an offline experience, so it's the actual university with a lot of people, with professors, and it was a full-time experience. And for me, I think it was also an eye-opening experience because for me it was like taking a step back because, I'd been in Toronto for too long and I just wanted to explore something and to live in, not just explore as a tourist, but to live in a new place. So that was great. And for me, like I said, so French was nonstop, all day, every day. Not only we spoke with professors, but also we spoke with the hosts. They are francophone students who organize the activities for us after courses every day. So from the very early morning, like from 8:30 a.m., and then till the afternoon, we had the course. And then after that, we had the activities. Some of them were free, some of them were paid. It was all up to you. So you could go, you could stay in the dormitory and just read and do the tasks, or you could do both. You could do the activities and then come home later. And if you have enough energy, you could do all the homework. For me, that was like that. Some days I participated in the activities. Some days I stayed in the dorms just to study because I took that seriously. For me, it was not just for fun. And the thing that I want to show you here or talk about is a green card. Yeah, you probably have heard this term when you heard of the United States of America, green card. But in this case, it's not like that. Green card is a concept, and it's actually a physical green card. And each student earned them for speaking French well. So it was like a reward. And then we could exchange this to get the prizes, your name could be chosen randomly and you could get the prize. And it's just a way to motivate students. And I find that fun, because the students were not only the young ones, but a lot of people of different age. So that was great. And I find that, of course, if your motivation to learn the language comes from the inside, that's even better. But even if it's if it's like that, a green card, why not? So we collected green cards, we collected prizes for that. And in the program, we had 5 levels of French. I was in the more advanced level. It was fun. It was not, for me, honestly, it was more like a revision because right before the program, I obtained my DELF B2 level, so upper intermediate level, very strong command of French. I'm trying my best. just to, like I said, to keep learning, to improve, and then to help other people improve in the future, maybe. And for me, it's just fun, right? But I also took that seriously. So not just fun, but also a serious thing to do. And the paid activities and the free activities, and I'll talk about some of them. So, for example, one of the free activities was the workshop where we gathered all together with the francophone students, and we were exchanging recipes. We were cooking together. We would just go and buy the ingredients, and we would cook something. Yeah, and everything was in French, and we would work as a team. And we could, it was a great chance to meet a lot of people and talk about everything, learn new phrases. Once we prepared the recipe, we could just sit together. We ate together. We spoke. We played games, some linguistic games. So it's a fun way to learn. It's like a real immersion. And here we go. I'm just showing you the green cards like that. And in my case, so every student, as a part of the Explore program, this government-paid program or government-promoted program, has to take 2 courses at the university. For me, it was more advanced level courses. I enjoyed immensely. The first course was communication and phonetics at the more advanced level, and I would say that both of the professors were great because I had communication and phonetics, and the other one was oral and written language, also more advanced level. So like level 4, level 5, right? More advanced, upper intermediate, advanced levels. Both of the professors were Quebec born. I still cannot, stop saying in the French way. They were very demanding, but I'm saying this in a good way, They gave homework, they gave a lot of tasks. It was very interesting. I took some pictures, it's a great classroom, very interactive. Some of the materials were in PDF. Some of them were available on their platform because they have their own platform that works with the Windows computer. It's called Can 8 or Can 8. It's a good platform. It's a bit older one, but it's all beneficial, And there were lots of tasks. We worked in the groups. We worked individually on the platform. We worked in the groups during the class time. The teachers, both of them, they tried to give their feedback, instant feedback, delayed feedback. Sometimes they would put the mistakes on the board without pointing who made this mistake. So it's very nice way to do things, I would say, according to the international standards. Just the way I was taught, for example, when I was learning how to teach the English language, yes? So if you're teaching a big group, so you should never point, John made this mistake, right? Here we go, let's take a look. No, you just put the mistakes on the board, or in this case, using the projector, and you're showing and you're discussing, you're letting your students talk about these mistakes and try to fix them, because this is more advanced level, right? And then you give your feedback and you actually correct the mistakes. Okay, I'm trying to move around my bubble here with my video, so in that way you could see everything. Here we go. And one more thing I'm showing here on the slides, and I'll just say it verbally. It's a big poster for every day. We had the activities that I've talked about, paid and free ones. And you should, for some of them, for the paid ones, you could pay online. So I paid online, or if you just want to sign up for something, you come very early at 8 a.m. and you sign up. And it's like first come, first served basis. Lots of excursions, walking around the city, exploring lots of places that only locals know, so it's not like tourist traps, not just places where you go spend money, right? It's just very good, very interesting stuff to do. And also sometimes we would take the bus, of course, sometimes we would just walk. with the hosts, so other francophone students. It was a great team, and I all the 5 weeks were very, very, very intensive. I think I even lost weight. I'm very happy about that, because now since I came back, one of my goals is to lose weight, actually. So where the program took us, now a little bit more about the things that we did beyond the classroom. And first, just to give you an idea, and these are not exhaustive. So like there are many other things that we did, but these are like just some things that I want to point out. So for example, there was during the first week, there was a big hike, and that's called Cap Tourmente, as they say. So this Cap Tourmente hike, it's basically, it's a mountain, and it's outside of the city. And they took us on the bus, and the group was not that big. I think we had about 20 maybe people, 30 maybe maximum, with all the hosts, and organizers. To me, that was very adventurous, and that was the biggest hike I did. The biggest hike I had done at that time, because it's been a while, I spend a lot of the time working at the computer, working online. So to me, especially at my age, I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my 30s, So that was a big challenge. And then on that day, I realized that, okay, because, it was physically demanding. It was physically challenging. And I kind of talked to myself in my head, and I said, okay, so after this, when you get back to Toronto, you must get in shape. You must get in shape. Because I was just looking at the people. Some of them were younger. Some of them were a bit older as well. But they were in a very good physical shape. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be in that shape. So it's nice. And we saw lots of waterfalls there. It was the first week, and on Saturday. So it was a big, big hike for the whole day. You get out at 9 a.m. in the morning. 9 a.m. and throughout the morning, and then afternoon, and then you get back in the evening. So very enduring, you got to have this endurance, physical endurance. To do that, stamina, I would say. Okay, one more thing was the tour to the city that's called Lévis. That's a small city, like a town more so. It's just on the other side of the river of Saint-Laurent Rivière, fleuve, just on the other side of the river of St. Lawrence. And I think it was just great because also we explored the city. We took a look at the city of Quebec. Sorry, again, I'm doing that. Yeah, it's just like a francophone, Quebec. So yeah, we looked at the Quebec city from the other side, and we took nice pictures. We had a long walk. We looked at the churches there, just talked to the host, talked to each other. Everything was in French. Of course, you're not allowed to speak English there. So my brain was going crazy, switching between languages, because then I would go in the evening, I would have to talk to someone in English, also just my relatives or friends, or talked in other languages, but mostly throughout the day, I would speak French. There was also a Montmorency Falls tour that we did. It's great. And the waterfall, it's I haven't visited many waterfalls, but I visited, for example, Niagara Falls, and this Montmorency Falls seemed to me like a bigger one, like a more powerful one. I'm not very good when it comes to numbers. I can't remember. I remember facts, and then 2 weeks went by and I forgot. But if you just want to look it up, Google, or maybe ask AI, because to me it seemed like a more powerful fall, like waterfall. So great. And also hike. So a lot of hiking, a lot of walking, which is great for the body and for the mind. Believe it or not, it was the first time that I experienced rafting. And the river that's called Jacques Cartier. So, and the rapids were not for the beginners. So among the group, so the students who decided to take part in that activity, we had different people. Some of them were newbies, just like me. So the first timers, people who were novices, never done that. But for some of them, like we had several, one guy and a woman, one lady who said that, she, for example, has traveled and she has done rafting, in 7 countries before that, something like that. Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong, like 5 or 7. I don't remember, because I remember the other guy, I think he said 7 or she said 5. I don't remember. But like, to me, that's a lot. Like, if you have done that 5 times, you're a good rafter. I bet you're so good at this. And she was very good. She helped us around, and she said, like, here in Canada, it was her first time. So it's great. Like, some of them have experienced the same had the same rafting experience before, and said that, it's a great one. It's a great experience. It's a life-changing thing. I cannot even, don't even get me started, because that's I remember I recorded the whole separate video just for my husband. I was explaining how exciting that was, how scared I was, like how I felt at that moment when we did rafting with every rapid, and every rapid had a name. Like, one rapid was, the instructors named it something like a Big Brother, and the other one is like Crazy Meat, because it was such a crazy rapid. I don't remember the exact names, but if you Google just Jacques Cartier River Rapids rafting, you would find the company and everything. But it's great. But I said, never again, just, I can swim. I'm not a super great swimmer or anything, not a professional, of course. But I don't have this fear of water either, so it was all right. Luckily, nobody got out of the board, nobody fell off the boat, and it was all good. Thank God. But I remember coming home after that very late in the evening. I was exhausted, and I was like, okay, tonight I need to watch the movie Jungle. That's called Jungle, with Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter guy, the actor. Because in that movie, in the Jungle movie, first of all, I was teaching English, and in the book, there was they mentioned this movie, and one of the lessons was built around it, and it just somehow it got stuck with me. I remembered this really well when in this movie, Daniel, the actor, and the character Yossi, they would what would they do? They took the boat, and they were traveling, in South America, and visiting jungles and stuff. And it's a crazy movie. And somehow I watched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so similar to what I experienced on that day. Yeah. So rafting is a separate thing. It's crazy, guys. If you like swimming, if you like water, if you like risks, adrenaline, I think right after this day, when I woke up the next day after I did the rafting, I was like, okay, now I know what I'm going to do with my life, So after such experience, you might as well just, wake up and you feel like a different person, for sure. Or maybe it can make you rethink something. But of course, for that, you need to get out of your comfort zone. For example, to me, that was just my husband's idea. He said, you know what? I'll pay for you. I'll help you pay for it, because it's not cheap, I just want you to experience that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm sure, never again. I don't think I'll ever do that again. But it was worth it. It was worth trying. And one more thing, 2 more things, maybe 3 things that I want to mention is the visit to the First Nation site. That's called Huron-Wendake. It's one of the First Nations that live there. Their history. We also did the crafts workshop. We were crafting, like dream catchers, and then there was this ritual where the man who is the First Nations representative, he would do like the cleansing. and he would sing. He would do like the smoke thing, and your dream catcher would help you, and it's like a ritual. It's a great tradition. I enjoyed that a lot. I learned a lot. In my life, I had visited the First Nations sites, but it was in America and the US when I was a student. So it's just a great opportunity because, here in Ontario, I haven't visited. So why not? Because, we are being a Canadian citizen, Canadian permanent resident. I think one has to know things like that. One has to know history and appreciate the history the way it is, Sometimes it's sad. All right. So 2 more things I want to talk about regarding the program activities, the university activities. I enjoyed greatly the ghost stories. It was a tour in Old Quebec. And during the first week, they took us to Old Quebec, and there was a tour, a guided tour. I enjoyed that as well. But the ghost stories were special because they were talking about some crimes that happened in Old Quebec back in the day. It was all in French. At some point, I even felt like, oh my God, that's like, it's too complicated for me. It's too difficult. I cannot follow. But then it's like, it's a panic because it's a Quebec accent, quite strong, I find it. But then you get used to it, it's just like 10 minutes and then you start understanding more. It's just sometimes it's just something new for sure. Because, I always learned a standard accent. So for me, during this trip, it was like a revelation, this Quebec accent. But I think I got used to it, but I'm not going to imitate it. I think you got to spend more time in order to consciously imitate it or pick it up. So for me, the standard accent prevails in my speaking practice, in my production, oral production, as they say, production orale. D'accord. Okay, so number 7, one more thing, is just the activity that's called the Sugar Shack. So the Sugar Shack is the maple syrup business. Basically, they make maple syrup. They organize a full course traditional Quebec meal there. They taught us local songs like à la cabane, on mange, on chante, on rire, and it's a dance, and it's so much fun, and so many other local songs like a traditional song that's called People of the Country, like Jean du Pays. Maybe you've heard it. It's very, very popular song, and I think it's just time flew. It was very, very engaged. I was engaged in all the activities. It's a sweet memory that for sure I'll keep forever in my heart. By the way, when my husband came to visit me, once the program was over and the courses were over, we went to the restaurant, also a traditional Quebec restaurant that, by the way, a local person recommended. And we went and we tried the Sugar Shack meal with traditional, what's called cabane à sucre meal. Great. So if you are into that, if you want to try the food, I feel like the food is the best thing to be closer with the culture, with the local culture. So highly recommended. Okay. Just some things, some pictures that I'm showing you right now. And for those who are just listening, just want to say that a couple of things, like what am I showing right now? It's just, again, a beautiful castle, the hotel of Frontenac, Chateau Frontenac. Just showing you a picture with me and my husband doing a lot of biking, because in Quebec City they have this great bike system that's called à vélo. Basically it means on the bike. So you could rent a bike. It's very affordable. You could, buy 50 Canadian dollars worth of subscription, and you could use 45-minute ride for it's not even for free. It's like non-stop. Yeah, you could use for 45 minutes and then make a stop, switch a bike, and then choose another bike, and then it's a part of your subscription, and you could go ahead and use the bike every day, all day, just having some breaks and exchanging the bikes. I enjoyed that a lot. I even bought like the helmet and everything because, safety comes first. I explored the city on the bike a lot by myself, with my husband, with some of my friends I made there. It's just great. And I think I got in a better shape, slightly better shape after this. But definitely it made me think about my shape and whether, I want to feel better about my body, build back this confidence. And here I'm showing what I was saying, cabane à sucre. So it's a meal that consists of, ham and sausages and beans in maple syrup, baked beans covered with maple syrup. It's like all the languages in my mind are mixed up right now, but no, that's fine. It's just that meal that I'm showing you in the picture and that I'm talking about. We also had it with my husband at the traditional Quebec restaurant that's called La Bûche. We had fries and crêpes, pancakes, some things like also bread and eggs, and it's very good. It seems like a simple meal, but it's actually a great meal. If you want to check it out, cabane à sucre. It's just cabane, like C-A-B-A-N-E, cabane à sucre. Yeah. So A and then S-U-C-R-E. Okay. So also, one last thing I want to point out at this point is the fireworks. So that every Tuesday, I think if I'm not wrong, if memory serves me right, so Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, they had fireworks at 10 p.m. for almost half an hour. Very quality fireworks. Honestly, it's like the fireworks show that I experienced in Old Quebec is one of the best I have experienced in my life so far, for sure. Okay, so just want to say a couple of words about my campus, classmates, and the city overall, just to kind of make a conclusion, so to speak. I would say that I highly recommend you do something like that if you ever have a chance. But if you're ready to be on your own, to be away from your family, from your friends for over a month, it can be physically demanding, and it is. That actually brings this idea, something that stands out, I would say, is that, your physical shape is very important. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, and you decide to do something like that. It's always best to be in a good physical shape, because our body shapes our mind and vice versa. Our mind shapes our body as well. So it's like, it's important. It's one of the insights that I got during this trip. The professors were great. And I also find university course, because I am an academic person. I like structure. I like plans. I like homework. I like structured feedback, things like that. So to me, that kind of learning, that kind of practice, and living in the language, that's also great. But of course, you got to make an effort, because that's a common misconception that people have, is that if you live in a language, or if, let's say, I have zero English, and if I want to go to New York, and if I live there for a month, my English will improve. Well, it will be very hard, right? And you will still need to put an effort and learn the language. Because I was there, activities, tours, these all are great. But I did that thanks to my already existing level as well, right? So you cannot just say that it will naturally come to you. You got to make an effort. Ideally, prepare yourself for such a trip. Do not go if you have zero French, though it's possible. It's just some of the tours you would not be able to participate maybe as actively as you would have wanted. But Overall, I highly recommend Laval University in Quebec City. And just in general, if you ever want to experience something like that, if you are an adult listening to this, surely, I mean, if you are an older adult, that's fine. I'm not super young, as I said. Yeah, being in my 30s also just, I keep thinking that, time is just it's just, it's merciless, it just takes you. So if you ever have a chance, just take an opportunity. One of the pictures that you see here is the view from my window at the residence. I was living on the 10th floor. The rooms, by the way, you don't share them with anyone. So that's, you got a separate room. They provide you with the furniture. The only thing was air conditioning. There's no air conditioning, so you got to bring your own fan. So a little bit of less comfort maybe than you are used to, but not everyone has an air conditioning in their home, so that's fine. That's not the end of the world, because you're probably not going to spend much time in your room, right? Probably. You'll go out, you'll do the excursions, you'll do the tours, and if you want to study, you can always go outside, or you can go to the place where there is an aircon. And surely I recommend exploring Quebec City on the bike. It's safe, it's nice. If you can't bike, well, that's a shame. You should learn, for sure. It's a good skill to have, just for fun, and as a good physical activity, for sure. All right, so I also want to do the final reflections part of this podcast, of this video, what it made me realize about myself, about my life. First of all, you have known me, if you have watched the previous videos, that I've been learning French very intensively, and this is, so technically right now, it's my active language, what I say, the language that I use actively, that I'll continue practicing for my work, for my personal life, and so on, because I know 4 languages. So that's English, French, also Russian and Ukrainian. So 4 languages that are active. Sometime in the past, I learned German. I lost my German. I know some German, but not a lot anymore, unfortunately, because use it or lose it, as they say. I don't have much German practice, right? When I was younger, I wanted to go to China, so I learned a bit of Chinese, but I only know like some basic phrases, and I can only, write some basic hieroglyphics like wo, ni, and so on. So just some simple stuff I still remember. If only I needed those languages, right? Because like if I don't use them, I lose them. But like the languages of my ancestors, my parents, like Russian, Ukrainian, I keep them. I use them to communicate with my relatives, my parents. But the thing is that in the future, I want to, right now, the way I see it, maybe things will change. And I know myself that things will for sure might change. They will change for sure. I might change my mind. But for now, I feel that I want to keep making this progress in French. I want to obtain the C1 diploma, the advanced French, in the future. I want to help people pass French exams for immigration. I want to get into that niche, into that field. Because I already have experience, right? And I have more than 10 years of experience teaching English and learning other languages. So it's a transferable skill. So I want to take this skill and I want to apply it to my French, and using my French and using my teaching skills that I estimate as at least good. Yeah, some people say excellent. So make courses, develop my language courses, develop my own small business, not just do one-on-one teaching and tutoring, which I love. I love doing that, but I want to scale. My dream is so that more people know me as a person, as an educator. So yeah, here we go. That's just some things that this experience made me realize, that sometimes you just need to take a step back, look from the outside, talk to yourself, what is important to you, what you want to bring into this world. And this is something I want to bring into this world. Spread the love to the languages, this concept of having a good command of the English language, the French language, and just spread the positivity, be positive, spread love, nurture great results and nurture people in the way that, by saying that, I mean like educating people with the help of my courses. And on the slides, you see my website, English Stoyanova. That's my last name because my name is Anastasia and the last name, my family name is Stoyanova. Stoianova. Stoyanova. If you just type it, or if you're listening on any platform, you might want to see the website attached. I always try to make sure I attach the links. Recently, we have developed with my team, the platform for the CELPIP preparation. That's a Canadian test. It's the English test. So if you're interested in that in the future, I'm hoping to develop more because I want to make sure that my experience with IELTS, my experience with the French exams will be used, and people will benefit from my experience. So, and I hope you enjoyed this, like a small update regarding my life. And I hope to see you in the next video or audio in my podcast, English and Canada. Maybe it's not going to be just English and Canada. Maybe soon it will be English and French Canada. But we will see what the future holds. I'm wishing you well, and I hope you stay with me. So let me know if you like the video. Let me know what you think about my experience. Write any comments. Did you enjoy listening? What did you find the most interesting? Here we go, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Salut. À bientôt.